Hey everyone and welcome. In this video we look at more stupidity from the buffoon himself, David. I've not seen a single copper Lammy. Seems that every time this man opens his face, all verbal diarrhea comes out, doesn't it? In this article, David goes full on open border insanity mode. Listen to this rubbish. It's titled, David Lammy, let 300,000 illegal immigrants remain in London. An amnesty for 300,000 illegal immigrants living in the shadows in London was today proposed by Labour mayoral hopeful David Lammy. First off, yes, you heard that right, this gimp is running for mayor, among others, and you won't believe who it is either, but the article will give us a few hints. Before we get into this, run the titles.
And I do believe that we have rotten politics, and I'm not using that as an exaggeration.
Thank you very much, Anne. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing, pressing the notification bell, sharing and commenting. If you're not new to the channel, thank you for your support. You're amazing, every last one of you. Secondly, Lammy is openly admitting the vast numbers of illegals we have in just London. Imagine that number, which I personally think is a vast underestimate, but we'll go with Lammy's number just for now. Imagine that number spread into every major city in the UK. 300,000 per city, and you can appreciate what this man's suggesting. Let's read this Swamp Fraggle's ignorant words and see why I think Lammy and all the Labour front bench are completely unelectable. He said it was time to bring them into mainstream society so that they could pay taxes and enjoy more secure lives. The Tottenham MP pointed to a GLA report that estimated illegal immigrants working illicitly in London could contribute up to 600 million each year if they were brought into the regular economy. That just says to me we've got a major issue with companies hiring illegal immigrants. That's got nothing to do with taxes, has it really? Other countries had tried similar policies successfully, including Spain, which has legalised 1.2 million people since the mid-80s. That's over a longer period. He's on about a big chunk right now. Critics will say the proposal could increase the queues of migrants trying to get into the UK illegally. Well, of course it will, because it'll send a huge flag out going, if you get to the UK, all you got to do is hide for a couple of years and they'll give you amnesty and citizenship and you can live there as long as you want on taxpayers' money. Don't worry about it. You see why it's making people nervous, this one? And Downing Street rejected the idea. Good. A spokesman said, I do not think that it's something that the government is considering. However, Mr Lammy said it made no sense to carry on with the same policies for people who have lived in the UK for 5 years or more. That just means they've been criminals for 5 years or more and already have jobs, and so are the companies that are hiring them, and homes to live in, and so are the housing offices that are housing them. Illegals are illegal for a reason. They broke into the country without claiming for anything. They shouldn't be allowed to stay, in my opinion. If you break into a country, it is not asylum, it is not refugee, it is not immigration, it is illegal immigration. There's a major difference, and these sort of people in Labour at the minute don't want anyone to understand the difference. We face a choice, yes we do. He said we can continue to stick our heads in the sand and pretend this isn't a problem. Really? We're not sticking our heads in the sand, Lammy. It's you and your ilk that have been sticking your heads in the sand since it all started with Blair. Am I wrong? Let me know. And pretend this isn't a problem. Carry on letting these people live in the shadows and use our services without contributing to them in tax. I agree fully. We shouldn't be allowing them to use our services without contributing in tax. But then we shouldn't be allowing them into the country in the first place, should we, David? Or we can do the sensible thing and have an amnesty on illegal immigrants in London who have been here for more than 5 years and are in work. They shouldn't be in work, it's illegal. Mr Lammy said he would push from day one for the idea if he is elected mayor next year. Well, we've got to make sure that he's never elected mayor then, haven't we? He added, it wouldn't create new pressures on housing because these people are already living here. It wouldn't mean fewer jobs because most of these people are already in work. So we've got 300,000 people that are here illegally that are being employed. Just let that one sink in. Considering it's illegal to hire illegal immigrants. Just a thought. It would just mean a much greater tax income. So pay us tax and we don't mind you breaking in. More transparency about who is living in our city and a group of people who live here and work here being accepted as part of our city. They're not part of the city or the country. They broke in, Lammy. Jesus. He's among 6 Labour rivals bidding to be the party's candidate. Are you ready? Are you ready for this? Dame Tessa Jowell had a boost today when Leighton and Winstead MP John Cryer, the influential chair of Labour MPs, said, "I'm proudly supporting Theresa because London desperately needs a Labour mayor." Does it really? It needs one. London, are you listening? You need another Labour mayor. Are you ready? Are you gonna be voting for a Labour mayor? Yeah, I thought not. Tessa can beat the Tories and work with trade unions and other groups. Trade unions? Okay. You mean do as you're bidding by the trade unions and other groups. Diane Abbott, you ready? Diane Abbott was backed by anti-cuts pressure group at the weekend and by student leaders who said their members need a mayor who will inspire us to get every math sum wrong from now until the dawn of time. She said it is essential that the next mayor of London takes a stand against austerity and the social cleansing of our city. That's extremely cheeky, that last bit. Social cleansing of our city. We could say that one, couldn't we, Diane? Absolutely disgusting, that last comment. So we've got David Racebaiter Lammy, we've got Diane Racebaiter Abbott and Dame Tessa Jowell, and we've also got Sadiq. It's all part and parcel of living in the city, all a knife crime. Khan. Great, isn't it? So glad I don't live in London. Now, what's my opinion on this? Well, Labour obviously haven't learned that mass immigration, even if they don't want to admit it, is why we voted for Tories and Brexit in massive numbers. As well as freedom from foreign rule, obviously. And as they're still pushing open borders policy. Lammy, you muppet, if you let 300,000 in and let them stay, that will send a message to the rest of the world. Our country is theirs if they just break in and stay hidden. You say that tax is why you want this, but we know why you want this. It's because us scum British people won't vote for a hateful Marxist racist party ever, isn't it? So you want to import voters. There is also another reason you want another 300,000 to be legal, and that's so they can vote, isn't it? I have a suggestion. Round up all the illegal immigrants in London and around the country, deport them all as the criminals they are, and if any were working, deport the companies that hired the illegal workers in the first place. Overnight, we gain thousands of low-skilled jobs for British people made redundant by the lurgy lockdown, and also free up 300,000 housing places, reducing demand and possibly bringing the house prices down to a level our children can afford, like they used to before the massive demand for both entry-level jobs and entry-level housing destroyed our children's futures. This needs to stop, in my opinion. Also, Lammy, considering this country is 100% racist, as Solmesy said, and you backed him on, why are you so intent on bringing more and more to this once great land? I'd really like to know how you justify that. We are institutionally racist with unconscious bias that makes us all guilty of the sins of our fathers. Can we apply that to illegals as well? Yeah, thought not. This party makes me sick. They claim to care about the poor and the working class and simultaneously work against both. But anyway, I would like to know your opinion on this, everyone. I want to know what you think about it. I really don't think Lammy has got a cat in hell's chance of becoming Mayor of London, but you never know. They voted in Khan, didn't they? But either way, I mean, it's going to be a Labour one anyway, so no matter who gets in, it's going to be the same crap, isn't it? So, London, if there are any of you left that are still living there that are sane, you've got one chance and one chance only, and it's when the election comes up for mayor, get rid of Labour, unless you want all of this to continue and continue. What you've got to think is as well, if we give 300,000 citizenship that broke in, they'll ask for another 300,000, and then the next 300,000, and then the next, and then the next, and then the next, and then the next. Where does it end? But anyway, stay safe, everyone. Leave me a comment, and I'll see you on the next one.